so this is going to be some patch notes preview here. So this is normally when the devs are quiet, and the devs have been quiet, they're usually cooking something. So let's have a look-see. Pause is now possible to pause the game during a multiplayer match. That's actually sick. Any player may pause at any time, but each player has a limited pauses per match. All players have the option to resume after a brief timeout. Okay. So they're adding a pause. The year is 2024! Pauses are upon us. That's great. I have often had games where I have to answer the phone, or I've got somebody at the door that I have to let in or pick up a package, and that would be so nice, because a lot of the people that I play are also top level that would be totally fine with a little pause if I gave them a reason. Huh. And, me giving them a pause. I'd prefer them to have everything sorted out, as opposed to them having to leave the PC for 30 seconds while I'm destroying them, and then, the game's kind of almost invalid in my eyes. New maps. I mean, I'm not gonna... I can't say too much without pictures and stuff, but... attack slower after shattering project... Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. So, English Trebs apparently attacked slower after shattering projectiles was researched. I actually had a few games with English Trebs, so I didn't know that was a thing. Japanese Kira Storehouse will be selected using the Select All Outpost hotkey. Is a Select All Outpost hotkey? I didn't even know. Byzantine aqueducts no longer have the Convert to Palisade Gate ability while under construction. Oh. The population indicator no longer changes for a single frame when constructing siege in the field with infantry. Oh. Fix an exploit for Rus, where gold from gold mines could be converted into bounty. Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Bounty shown on the village UI with a different icon. Chinese imperial officials no longer override player commands, which are issued on exactly the first frame after the officials automatically choose a tax drop-off. Ah, I think this is like that bug where you try and shift-click afterwards, and they go and start doing something else. That'd be nice. Okay, smoother arrows. The trajectory should look more natural. Cool. Keep an outpost smoother when targeting units below them. Arrows no longer teleport to find the target on the final frame. Okay. Units no longer fire projectiles at units in their death animation. Oh, that's quite big. So that means like less overkill? Okay. New post-game graph added. Includes total resources gathered, total food gathered, total stone gathered. Aha. Post-game graphs added. That could be cool. I kind of like that. Like, if you get to see a total resources collection rate as the game's going on, that could be cool. You want to zoom in a bit? Alright, hold on then. Is that better for you? Multiplayer pause. That's nice. Each player will get 5 pauses. That's quite a lot of pauses, to be fair. All players have the option to resume. Okay. Siege gameplay. Developer overview. Hello, Buzzy. Hello, boys and girls. Our goal with the Siege update is to slow down Siege on Siege combat by removing the anti-Siege roll from the Springolds and Culverins and increasing time to kill on many Siege interactions. Ooh. With these adjustments, winning the backline Siege battle will now mean you have effective tools for pushing on the field. Additionally, adjustments to Siege durability have been made across the board to tune unit to Siege interactions. Specifically, ranged units will no longer either one-shot or never kill Siege weapons, and instead will deal more consistent damage towards Siege. High-level changes directly below. Okay, this is already very interesting. This is already very interesting. Springolds reworked from an anti-siege roll to an anti-melee infantry roll with special projectiles that pierce their targets which pass through enemy formations for devastating effect. Culverins reworked from anti-siege to a unique bombard replacement for several civs. A bombard replacement? Adjusted the armor of all siege engines from range armor to range damage reduction, referred to as range resistance. Okay. Siege durability. Ram and siege towers reduce incoming range damage by 95%. Aha, so this is... Okay, so if you deal 100 damage ranged, you'll then deal... Would that be fire? Is that real? Interesting. Bombards, cannons, culverins. Okay. Trebuchets, mangonels, and STBs. Interesting, interesting. Interesting. So bombards, like, yeah, it's hard to truly... Hello, Billy. Town centers will not take down rams anymore. I mean, town centers never really took down rams. But I think with a, like, if the ram has a ranged, like, if you deal, let's say you deal a 20 damage shot, right? If you had a hand cannoneer shoot a ram, it will still just deal 1 damage before. I think if you reduce the damage by 95%, I still think ultimately you'll deal 1 damage to a ram, which is... So I don't think that changes that. Unit reworked into a unique bombard replacement several civilizations that fires faster, has additional range, and deals less damage than standard bombards. Cost reduced. So it's pretty significant cost reduction. Health reduced. Range armor. Base damage reduced from 85 to 40. Gains 230 bonus damage versus buildings and ships. Gains 40 bonus damage versus infantry. Bonus damage versus siege removed. Reload time. Attack speed is reduced though. Range reduced from 12 to 11. Now fully replaces bombards for Holy Roman Empire, Order of the Dragon, Abbasid, and Ayyubid. It's been removed from Malian. So they've tried to turn this into a unique bombard replacement. So they're basically, like the bombard here, the damage is reduced, but it gets bonus damage versus infantry. Cannon. So the range resistance. So this cannon is like the French one, right? Gains. So the cannons are slightly better bombards by the looks. Great bombard. Range armor. Base damage reduced from 190 to 70, but gains 150 bonus damage versus infantry. So that's 220 versus infantry. So it's still very good against infantry. But they're going to be less good against horses. Okay, Springold adjustment. Let's see. Cost reduced. They're freaking cheap. But their health is low. 75 health. Range armor resistance, so 60%. So if you've got crossbow shooting them, they have 12 damage base, 14 damage in age 3. You normally do get crossbows with damage upgrade. So a 60% reduction on 14. Do crossbows deal like 5 damage per hit or so to Springolds? You can probably kill them quite quick. Melee armor increased from base damage reduced from 30 to 15. Gain plus 10 bonus damage versus melee infantry. Range reduced. I mean, the total damn rework. Total damn rework. Population cost reduced from 3 to 2. Fires bolts that pierce through multiple units. No longer has homing projectiles. I mean, significantly cheaper. So their goal for this patch was to just make siege battles less anti-siege, basically, which interesting. Roller shutter triggered no longer provides additional Springold range, only provides 25% attack speed. Okay. Trebuchet adjustments, health reduced, range armor, range resistance, population less. So that's a counterweight Treb. Oh, but and then the traction trebuchet is the Mongol one, yeah? Okay, so it's going to be hard to figure out what these things actually mean, but Trebs being less supply, I don't mind that. Mangonel. Bonus damage versus range increased from 6 to 8. Bonus damage versus buildings increased. Range reduced from 9 to 8. Unit response. So now Mangonels deal more damage, but less range. Aim time reduced. Wind down time increased. Each boulder's blast radius reduced. No, that's quite a big reduction. Projectile spread reduced. Oh. No longer predicts movement, instead fires directly at the target, so it's going to be easier to dodge. But the Springald is now no longer a auto anti-mango. Adjustable crossbar technology, cost increased. What was adjustable crossbar? This was the thing to make your mangoes fire quicker before, was this? I mean, that is a freaking fat upgrade cost. 2,200 resources? How to download the NoPub? I said it at the start of the stream, actually, but I'll show you again, just for the sake of this video. So, when you go to your Steam, you right-click here on your Age of Empires for properties. You go to betas, and over here it will be set on none. So the public update preview is the pup. Now, when you click on this, you'll have the future live. It'll take a little moment to update and what have you. And if you're finished with the pup and you want to go back to normal, you just do the same thing, go back to none, and then it'll switch and take a moment. So that's how you sort that out. Nice and simple. Effect changed from 25% attack speed to 100% splash radius and plus 1 projectile added to the mangonel attack. So we'll have to find out how effective that actually is. Nest of Bees, range resistant, range reduction. Damage has been naturally reduced because chemistry no longer grants additional base damage. Additional barrels technology. Cost. Additional barrels. So that's the thing for Nest of Bees, I'd imagine. Very expensive. Revolver health reduced, range armor replaced. Ram and Siege Tower, range armor replaced with the resistance. University update. Okay. So that is going to be very interesting to see how those units actually work. So they're Springald now. They've effectively said it is now a anti-melee infantry unit, which is significantly cheaper. 150 to 100. 150 to 100. That is very interesting. Our goal with the University update is to spice up the late game by creating a more meaningful set of decisions at the University by altering the cost, effect, or both. Now these upgrades should be both more situational and more powerful when those situations arise. Let's have a look. Incendiary cost increased. So from 300 700 being like basically the most expensive upgrade, they've kind of just gone, nah, let's make them all more expensive. Added an additional effect. Non-gunpowder units, gunpowder range units gain 20% damage plus deal additional siege damage to buildings. Oh, I actually think that's pretty good, to be fair. Fire arrows, in my mind, if they're shooting Malian huts, it was kind of weird they still did 1 damage. Well, we'll see. Archer-type units deal 3 siege damage when firing on buildings. Cool. Mounted archer-type units deal 3 siege damage with exceptions. Crossbows deal 4 siege damage. I think that's... yeah. Tower Elephants and Desert Raiders, Ibid, do not use siege arrows against buildings, as they use Tusk and Torch attacks respectively. Zugnu, Cavalry Archers, Ottomans. Oh! New unit. Mangadai deal 2 bonus damage instead. Gilded Archers deal 6. And Gilded Archers deal 8. Okay. Biology. This is the one for your cavalry. So, costs more. Gives more. 1500. Wow. French Royal Bloodlines. Cost stays at 300 700. Cavalry health by... wow, okay. Okie dokie. Interesting. Chemistry. Cost reduced from 300 700 to 200 food, 650 gold, and it's faster now. Effect change from gunpowder units doing 20% damage to gunpowder siege engines gain 25% bonus damage. So, you don't buff hand cannoneers anymore? Or Azutsu? Interesting. Gunpowder Siege primarily deals damage to specific targets with bonus damage change, makes Gunpowder Siege weapons significantly better against specific targets, namely buildings. Alrighty. Okay. I mean, it's going to take a while for me to wrap my head around the Siege, because Siege is going to be 1,000,000,000% different. 1,000,000,000%. Elite Army Tactics. Cost increased. Pretty random numbers, by the way. Like, this is 1,600 resources total. This is 1,500 resources total. Effect change from melee infantry 20 and 20% to +4 melee armor and +20% base damage. So no longer the health. Ah, but Japanese Oda tactics change. Oh, wait. So strange. Why removing the health? Feels very interesting to buff Horseman Knight health. Even if for French it's 5%, for the other civs it's 10%. But to nerf endgame infantry by 20%. 4 melee armor is a lot, but this does make infantry significantly worse late game against range-based armies. Yeah, it's like 20% health. That was I want to say the main reason you got it. The damage is just a nice thing, you know? 4 melee armor. I mean, that's significant. Because in my head, like most late game compositions, you basically get to a point where you're spamming horsemen, so they're going to be 10% more health. But I mean, the whole game's going to change, so a lot of the thinking behind these changes probably don't fully make the picture for me just yet, but definitely interesting. Siege works. Effect change, 20% health and 10 range armor to siege engines get 20% more health. Mongoose. Okay, makes sense. New tech, Serpentine Powder. So 800 res. Available in the Imperial Age. Effect. Hand cannoneers gain 8 bonus damage versus melee infantry and a brief boost of movement speed upon firing their weapon. Interesting. Mongols don't get this. Zushi and Ottoman don't get access to it either. Oh, they don't get an improved, but Zushi and Ottoman don't get it at all. Zushi literally don't have a hand cannoneer. Ottoman have a Jani. That's going to be interesting. New tech. Silk bowstrings. Effect. Archers +2 range. Mounted archers 1 range. What? I mean, I kind of like the idea of archers having more purpose later. And I say this because archers, for the most part, and I really mean this, archers, for the most part, when you get to imp, are not a unit that you make. Which is a bit unfortunate. Like, if I think about a lot of my games, even when I'm English, do longbows become like a main? Not so much, actually. you're normally transitioning to like a men-at-arms, spearman, and cannoneer kind of comp. But we'll see, because that is interesting. Thank you, iFairs. Thank you.
Looking forward to watching you test this pup demo.
Zushi do not get Ixted out of archers. There's no improved. Okay. Elephants don't benefit. Okay. General changes. Okay. Horticulture, fertilization, and precision crossbreeding upgrades effect reduced from 15 to 10%. That's quite a big nerf. So it's 10-10-10 as opposed to 15-30-45. Mongol improved gathering rates reduced. Boar food increased by 10%. Extended lines reduced from 20 to 15%. So they're really trying to slow down the food upgrades here. So far reading just this bit, this does mean that your natural Civ bonuses, such as like Abbasid, Iabid with their Golden Age, English with their mills, things like that, technically benefit you more. But we'll see. Berry gather rate increased, so natural increase. But the berry bonus reduced, so I think that kind of keeps these the same, but the other Civ's slightly better on berries. I think that's okay. All Tier 2 and Tier 3 economic upgrades get new icons. Whoa. Acid Distillation has been renamed to Shaft Mining. Acid Distillation, I don't... Melee unit torch damage increased from 16 to 17 in Castle Age and 20 to 22 in Imperial Age. Palisade wall build time increased from 4 to 8. Oh! Okay, that's good. Frickin', in my eyes, walls have always been going up so fast. Like, so fast. I can't tell you how many times I feel like walls should have been hit harder. Outpost health increased by 50. Roos, Wooden Fortress, unchanged. Okay. Horseman attack bonus versus siege now scales with base damage. Instead of 10 at all ranks, adjusted from plus 10 at all tiers to 8, 9, 11, 13 for early feudal veteran elite. Okay, I think that's nice. Order of the Dragon Gilded Horseman adjusted to 15, 18, 20 instead of 15 all ranks. Ottoman Sippi also 9, 11, 13 versus siege. Okay. Rip Blue Goose. I mean, you can still build walls. It will just take longer, which I think is great, because those wooden walls, there was like no reason not to make them early on. It was a bit... I think that's a nice change overall. We'll see how it works out. Maybe it's terrible and I'm wrong. Okay, civilization changes. Chinese additional barrels cost increased, but it gives you. So this is the thing that gives your Nesta Bees an extra rocket. So now it's going to be 400 to 800. Additional barrels effect increased from 1 to 2 additional rockets. Grenadier attack made more responsive. Grenadier aim time reduced from 0.5 to 0. Grenadier reload time increased. So they fire... So this here, reload time increased. So I think their time between attacks might be more. But if their aim time is reduced, although the aim time, if that... Maybe it's exactly the same overall, given that it's 0.5. Maybe they're just... They don't feel as clunky, is what I'm reading from this. Oh, apparently I just got lots of masteries. Sick. What the hell's happening? Alrighty. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. I might need to... Closing my Steam for now. That's too much. It's too much. Oh my god, dude! I've closed Steam, haven't I? There we go. All right. That's gonna be one for the YouTube video. All right. So I think they've just made Grenadiers far less clunky here, and they'll actually hit a bit better. Yeah, hacked on live. What can I say, boys? What can I say? Now there was changes announced about like mangonels no longer have like their shots don't follow or predict, they just hit where you are, so they're easier to dodge. But I don't think they said that about the Nesta Bees in general. So let me find out where we were. Right, okay. So I think Nesta Bees in general will be still pretty damn good. Mangonels, they'll still be a good unit, but not even remotely as good. So, interesting. New naval technology, salvage materials. Baglach. Heal 30 health when sinking an enemy ship. Baglach. So that's their kind of like Hulk-esque equivalent, right? Interesting. I mean, it technically doesn't cost you anything because you're Delhi. Definitely interesting. Fairly, I'd say overall fairly useless. Just because if it means just the single Bagla that has to get the killing blow and that will heal by 30, I think that's what it is kind of meaning. As opposed to, because what you could kind of refer from this is that if you sink an enemy ship, all your Bagla heal by 30 health, which I doubt it's that. Interesting. This one, French docks provide plus 10 population space. So they work as a house as well. I mean, that's very random. That is super random. But kind of cool. HRE, Mindwalk Palace. Mindwalk? Okay. Let's have a look. Riveted Chains has been replaced with all pikes, which grant 3 damage to spearmen and horsemen. Oh, that's actually quite big. That's quite big. Garrisoned relic effect reduced from 50% to 25% armor and 25% damage instead of 35%. Okay. So, garrisoned relics. Less good. Reinforced defense is reduced from 40 to 25. Emplacement discount reduced from 25 to 20. Town center range armor reduced. Ark and chapel range reduced from 7.5 to 6.5. Okay. Yeah, a bit of a glow up from +2 melee armor, because the +2 melee armor, to be fair, was gigashite. Like it was good in like spearman versus spearman. So it's a tiny chapel nerf and a Mindwalk boof. Because, yeah, spearman and horseman getting +3. It's pretty significant, actually. Like, that's pretty significant. Combined with an Archon nerf, even if it's a small one. I'm very curious about how that's going to work out, actually. That'll be fun. Japanese. Each tier of the Dynamo's mana farm gather rate aura reduced. So it's just, overall, it's a blanket, like, food nerf. Yeah, so it's a blanket food nerf on the upgrades. Interesting. I wonder what their overall goal is with that. Jean d'Arc. Docks also provide 10 pop. Jean d'Arc companion riders move to the stable. Companion champions move to the barracks. Interesting. Companion equipment move to the respective building. Jean d'Arc gains half experience from constructing before the capital town centre is constructed on Nomad. Okay. Malian, Farimba Garrison. Aging up with Farimba now gives you the choice to enlist one of 3 new units. Oh, so it's kind of like a... it's like a contract from... Okay. So you can get either the Mansa Musafadi, a tougher version of the regular Musafadi, boasting higher melee armor and health. Higher melee armor and health? Interesting. Mansa Javelinier, a faster moving javelin thrower that deals poison damage. Oh. An entirely new unit, a Mansa Freeborn, a high Pierce armor melee unit. A high Pierce armor melee unit. Does that mean like a spearman or? Interesting. The Mansa Musafan and Javelinier replace their counterparts at their respective buildings, while the Mansa Freeborn is a unit that is trainable from the barracks. Like, Players can choose one of the remaining 2 options if they reach the Imperial Age. Ranged armor. I don't know. Actually, if you told me Pierce armor, the Freeborn has no melee armor but 5 range armor. Okay. And is it... what kind of damage does it do? So they technically... I mean, that's kind of interesting. Very interesting. And yeah, if you get Imperial, you can get 2 of the 3 options. It's kind of cool. And here it says that you'll replace their counterparts at their respective buildings. So if you get this and you pick Javelineers, it means that you now produce Javelineers out of your archery ranges, from what I can tell. Now I'm wondering if your javelin throwers that you already have, if you upgrade them, do they become the Javelineers as well? No? Okay. They say normal jabs. Okay. Very interesting changes, to be fair. Very interesting, because poison jabs that move faster, that might be... in my head, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? What the fridge? What the fridge? Saharan Trade Network. I mean, this absolutely is interesting. Absolutely interesting. Saharan Trade Network acts as a toll outpost that comes with defensive javelins emplacement, in addition to previous effects. Now grants all other toll outposts the defensive javelin emplacement, replacing the standard arrow slit emplacement. Javelin emplacements have 8 range, 11 base damage, and 1.3 attack speed, with +2 versus range units cost 75 gold. Oh. So instead of having these stone emplacements that have been like 50-25, it just kind of makes it all gold emplacements instead. That's interesting. That is interesting. Okay, Order of the Dragon. Okay, the Garrison nerf. Arkham Chapel was nerfed for them as well. All gilded unit Castle Age torch damage increased by 1. Okay. Janissary gun effect. Guns effect increased from +3 to +5 damage. So that's the Imperial upgrade. Pretty nice. I mean, hand cannon's got a buff with that serpentine stuff in general, which Jannies don't get, so them getting a little buff here is quite okay, I think. Imperial Council. Fast training has been removed, and its 25% production speed effect has been added to Advanced Academy. 4 new Imperial Council upgrades are available. Fast training has been removed. So Imperial Council. Hold on. Imperial Council. I'm gonna ask, what is that? Is that the Age 3 landmark? But it didn't grant anything. Imperial Council. It's Vizier points. Okay. Vizier points. 4 new Vizier point upgrades are available. Okay. Yeah, that confused me. I was like, what? So fast training has been removed, and its 25% has been added to Advanced Academy. Advanced Academy. I will need to look at that. Extensive fortification. So tier 2, so the second row. All garrison arrows are now replaced with crossbow bolts, which deal +2 bonus damage to versus heavy units. Interesting. Feels a bit shite, but we'll see. Timariots. Tier 2 enables cavalry archers to be trained from the archery range in military school. So, I mean, I haven't even seen these frickin' cavalry archers yet. But it's going to be interesting. So you get an upgrade to be able to build those from Vizier points. That's interesting. Pax Ottomana. Tier 3. Villager production speed increased by 50% for 4 minutes. That is very unusual. That is very unusual. Very unusual. So if you don't click this right away, but then it gets to a point where you're like, ha, I put down a second TC and a third TC, and then you go boom, like old school Chinese style. But remember, it is a Vizier point, and it's just for 4 minutes. And it will cost you food to get more out. Great Bombard Tier 4. Great Bombard arrives at the capital town. Okay, that's funny. That's funny. All right, all right. Interesting. So, Advanced Academy. Is this the Advanced Academy? Which one is that exactly? I'm going to check quickly. Advanced Academy is the one can train Lancers and Janissaries. All right. So, faster production speed actually is on the Lancer Academy one with the Jannies. That's cool. Actually, that was one that I didn't really use because I thought it sucked. But if you get that and you get the production speed effect and the Advanced Academy, granted it is on the Tier 3 one. So there's also a Tier 4 one with this Great Bombard now. That's funny. Early version used before Imperial Age. Automatically upgrades upon reaching the Imperial Age. Trade bags and siege crews have been moved from Tier 2 to Tier 4. Interesting. I mean, the trade bag one, to be fair, was a later game upgrade anyway. Military schools. Night production speed reduced by 20%. Janissary production speed reduced by 25%. This ensures that knights and janissaries produce for the same resource per minute from the military schools as other military units. Okay, totally fine then. I felt that having 1 or 2 units be the most cost efficient meant that you're just going to make those. Janissaries received range unit tag. Receives a new light range gunpowder infantry tag. Normal hand cannoneers no longer classified as light. Archers gain bonus versus light gunpowder infantry. Bonus damage versus cavalry reduced from 16 to 20 to 12 to 15. I think that's fine. As a result of these changes, Janissaries will only receive bonus damage from archers, rather than all range attacks will be less extreme in its relationship versus cavalry units. Okay. Okay, that's cool. So chemistry no longer affects hand cannon, gunpowder infantry units, correct? So Janissaries, when they're age 4 with all the upgrades, will deal the 20 plus the 5 from earlier. Where was it? Yeah, here. So they'll deal 25 damage flat. So it'll be 25 plus 15 to cavalry. So, I mean, they're still very good against cavalry. $20 damage? No, 20? No. They'll deal so bonus damage versus cavalry. So, but what's their regular damage? Wasn't it like 25 plus 3 that they had? Or was I reading 15 plus 5? But their gun effect increases. Wait, so it's just their bonus damage changing. So their regular damage. So what do they have regular? Because when they first pop out, isn't it 16? And then it was meant to be plus 16.
Ben?
Hello?
Are you in a game?
No, at the moment I'm doing some patch note review.
Nice, because then can I borrow you for... it will take a bit maybe.
Okay, hold on, bring it back quickly.
Bring your phone.
Alright, I'm back.
Thank you.
So there was a nice little pause. So, just so I'm going to get all my thoughts out properly. So, Janissaries, before, they did 16 damage, and then plus 16 to cavalry. They're now going to deal 16 and then plus 12 to cavalry. Because they did the same damage as their bonus damage to cav, it just doubled. So, they deal 20 damage and then plus 15. When they're elite. Cellophane, thank you. Now, before, when you got chemistry and the plus 3 damage upgrade for them, they did 28 damage. And then plus 20. Now, because the chemistry is gone, but you get plus 5 damage instead of plus 3, they'll still deal 25 damage to everything. With all the upgrades. So they're still a damn fine unit. That's what I was trying to get to. I was just... So, slightly worse against cavalry in general, but I don't think that... Yeah, I mean, they still melt cav. Like, you're not going to be like, haha! I'm surrounding 50 Janissaries with 30 horsemen, it's going to go well. So, you know, we're okay there on that front. Palisade walls. Yeah, dude, wasn't it funny that Rus walls built faster than regular walls? But now they're going to make them build the same speed. That's great. Banded arms technology range effect for springolds increased from 0.5 to 1. Interesting. Zushi. New technology. Dali horses. All cavalry gain 20% attack speed. 75 food. 175 gold. 45 seconds. Available in the feudal age. Wait, what? So that's something you just... Does it become like an active ability for them? Oh, wait. No, they just... So it takes 45 seconds. Okay. That's very interesting. 20% attack speed? That's pretty huge. That's pretty huge. Imperial Guard reload time. Yuan Raider reload time. New technology. Hard-cased bombs. Grenadiers, +2 bonus versus light infantry. Available in the Castle Age. And you get early Grenadier in Castle Age. And the Grenadier is more responsive. Interesting. Interesting stuff overall. I mean, the thing that is the biggest by far... So they've slowed down all sorts of food upgrades in general, but that's kind of okay. The siege stuff is the big one. Incendiary arrows being a significantly better upgrade as well, for buildings specifically. But yeah, these, like the Springold, the Bombard, the Cannon Culve, being completely different is very interesting. So I just want to... The Culverin, it fires faster, has additional range, and deals less damage than the standard Bombards. It's cost massively reduced as well. When I say massively, 75 less wood, 150 less gold. This whole range armor resistance stuff, base damage 85 to 40, gains... So big bonus damage versus buildings for the Culverin now, but it's a different unit. Bonus damage versus infantry, bonus damage versus siege. Attack speed reduced. Range now. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be very interesting. So now, now there's, no true mega count to a mango with another siege. I mean, I still think the siege units will kill them, but maybe it's not. Because it's, range resistance. Very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, horsemen, yes, but if you've got, say if you've got Mangonel Spearmen, that's very interesting to me. I like the walls building slower. I like that a lot. It always felt a bit lame to me that you can just kind of quick wall with wood. English Treb. I actually didn't know that the English Trebs fired slow with shattering projectile upgrade. I did feel they fired slow, but I thought that was just Trebs. Some stuff is downright broken at the moment. I can imagine, I can imagine. Now, I actually have to head to the hospital in about an hour. So I don't have a ton of time. It's a short stream today.